Finally assemble the phoenix. First make the head crest part of the crown. Eyes, beak and bead chain. Then sew all the parts together. Watch my demonstration for the specific making method. First take the head crest. With the slip stitch seam facing down. First at the top middle position, corresponding to the longest feather. Make the crown. Cut a piece of wire about 6 cm long, fold it in half. Take the gold yarn, start wrapping from the folded position. About 2 cm. You can apply a little glue at the beginning. Try to make the top look neat. Wrap as evenly and nicely as possible. Once you reach the desired length, cut the yarn. Secure the yarn tail. And let it dry. One phoenix crown is done. Make 2 more using the same method. Once completed, twist the bottoms of the 3 crowns together. Insert them into the centered stitch position of the headband's second round. Around here. You can first use a needle to open up the spot a bit. Align the crowns vertically and neatly. Try to make the bottom connections look nice. Fold the excess wire neatly into the fabric. Flush against the fabric. For extra security, you can also use a glue gun to attach it. Take out the glue stick and insert it into the glue gun. Plug it in and turn on the switch to preheat. If you don't have a glue gun, you can use a lighter to melt the glue stick for attachment. Secure it firmly on the wrong side. If there's a lot of wire left, be sure to trim off the excess. Finally, use pliers to bend the wire into the desired shape for the comb. Everyone can adjust it according to their own preference. This completes the chicken comb. Next, make the beak. Cut 2 pieces of wire about 2 cm long. Twist them together. And insert them into the starting point of the head. Leave about 7 mm exposed. Secure it with a glue gun. Apply a bit of alcohol glue onto the wire. Wrap the wire with gold thread to form a cone shape. Leave a little yarn tail, and then cut it off. Thread the needle. To make the right side texture look neat, weave the thread to the wrong side and hide the tail. Secure it in place. This completes the beak. Then, at the left eye position of the head, attach 1 Marco's rhinestone as the eye. You can decide the exact position based on your preference, as long as it looks nice. On the other side, you can choose to attach one, or not, based on your preference. Next, make the bead chain. Take one end of the sewing thread and thread it into a beading needle. Insert the needle into 17 seed beads. Then 1 clear wool bead. And 1 glass leaf. Then thread back through the same beads in reverse order. Thread through 1 clear wool bead. 7 seed beads. Adjust the tension properly. Make sure the leaf hangs naturally. Pick up a few threads at the bottom right side of the mouth. Thread through. Then thread back to the original yarn tail position. After adjusting the tension properly, tie the two yarn tails together in a knot. Then hide the two yarn tails inside the wool bead. Trim excess tail. This completes the bead chain. Next, sew the head crest to the body. Thread the reserved tail from the head crest through a yarn needle. Match up the starting stitch positions of the two parts. Centered at the bottom of the phoenix. You can first use a hot glue gun to attach the foundation chain area of the body to the inside of the head crest. Pay attention that the bottom should be close together. The top of the head crest should be slightly lifted. Then secure with yarn to shape both sides. Don't pull too tight. Then weave in the ends. Next, take out the wings. For both wings, bend the wire on the longer feather side inward. You can pick up a few stitches to hide it. On the other side, leave about 2 cm and cut. Don't leave it too long. Process the other wing symmetrically using the same method. Shape the wings neatly. From the sewing position on the body, count up to the 11th round. At the indentation on top, find the centered 2 single crochets where you increase. At the holes on both sides like this. Insert the wing wires respectively. Pay attention to have the long feathers facing outward, mindful that the last row is on top. Insert symmetrically on the other side. The specific position of the wings. You can also adjust according to your own preference. Thread the yarn tail of the left wing into the yarn needle. Attach the bottom of the wing body to the body. Secure it firmly enough. Weave in the yarn tails. For the right wing, take another piece of yarn to fix. Tie a knot with the yarn tail. Weave them in separately. This way, the wings are installed properly. Next, sew on the tail. Thread the yarn tail of the first layer of the tail into the yarn needle. The first layer of the tail is positioned forward, with the braid-like texture facing backward. At the position where the wings are inserted, skip 2 rounds at the back. Sew centered in the gap like this. Secure it firmly. Try to make the tail stand upright. Fasten off and weave in the ends when done. The second layer of the tail is placed in the indentation 1 round apart at the back. Sew centered in the same way. Everyone complete this part. Finally, attach the tail feathers at the tail sewing position. Centered 3 rounds apart at the back. Insert tail feather 2 and tail feather 5. The swatch has random colors. Pay attention not to mix up the tail feathers of the same color. Check the number of groups like this. Everyone can also arrange the tail feathers according to their own preference. In the swatch, tail feather 2 is placed towards the front. The right side with clear texture faces the head. If it's difficult to insert, you can trim it a bit. Secure it using the reserved yarn tail. Weave in the ends. The other tail feather is also secured with a yarn tail. Everyone can also use one single yarn tail to secure all the remaining tail feathers. Just choose according to your preference. Then insert tail feather 6 on the right side. Insert tail feather 1 into the left stitch. On the front side, center 2 stitch positions 1 round ahead of the body. Insert tail feather 3 and tail feather 4 separately. Secure them firmly using the reserved yarn tails. Everyone complete this part. Finally, at the center of the front side of each tail feather's end, vertically attach 1 rhinestone to cover the whole position. Everyone glue on all other positions. This completes the assembly of the entire phoenix. Finally, proceed with the assembly of the accessories, including character, she, half beads, fan handle, peony flower branches, phoenix, tassel pendant, floral inlay design and fan handle tassel. Please watch my demonstration of the specific securing method. First, secure the character, she, smooth out the motif. Make sure the shape is centered and symmetrical. Position the she buttonhole facing up, place it at the center front side of the motif. Use the yarn tail previously left from the motif. Secure the top and bottom 2 points firmly. Try to keep the stitches on the back side as invisible as possible. Finally, tie off the yarn tail neatly on the wrong side to hide it away. Next, attach the half beads on the 4th round of the motif, at the gap between each group of double crochets. Glue the half beads close to the stitch position. Here you can use alcohol glue or a glue gun to attach them. Be careful not to burn your hands. Evenly secure 2 half beads in the middle of each group of double crochets. Repeat this process to complete the entire round. Then on round 9, near the bottom position of each group of double crochets, evenly secure 5 half beads. Follow this method to complete this round. That's all for attaching the half beads. Next, secure the fan handle. Use a glue gun to fix it in place. You can add a bit more glue inside. Insert it quickly. Try to secure it as firmly as possible on both sides of the fabric. If it's a bit loose, you can also use glue to secure it firmly to the fan handle. Pay attention to the appearance. Now the fan handle is securely attached. Next, secure the peony branches and the phoenix. First, position all parts properly on the front side. The phoenix on the right, the peony branch slightly to the left from the bottom. Going left in order, 2 leaves with a large flower, 1 leaf with a large flower, small flowers and buds. The specific placement and shaping can be referred to in the finished product. You can also adjust according to your preference. For the small sample, first secure the 2 leaves with a large flower. Place it in a proper position. Use wire to secure it at the corresponding position of the motif. There is no specific method required for securing, as long as it is securely fixed. The excess wire should be passed to the wrong side of the flower. Cut off. There are some excess yarn tails here. You can use a yarn needle to secure it again. Be sure to pull tight. Try not to leave visible sewing marks. Fasten off. With that, a large flower is securely attached. Attach one large flower leaf to the left side fan frame. It's difficult to secure the wire on this fan frame. You can leave a little wire and then cut it off. Hide it inside the fabric. Next, thread the reserved yarn tail through the yarn needle. Weave it into the fabric to hide it. Thread the reserved yarn tail of the small flower through the needle. Below the large flower leaf, you need to secure the wire part of the small flower. Attach the large flower's calyx together with the fan frame. Trim off any excess wire. Try to keep the small flower as close as possible to the large flower. When sewing, be sure to pick up the thread on the surface of the fan frame for secure attachment. Make sure to pull tight. Finally, secure the flower bud. Use the end of the thread, secure the base to the calyx of the small flower at the corresponding position on the fan frame. Again, pick up the thread on the surface. Make sure to pull tight. Finally, weave in the ends. Next, use a glue gun to attach the branch at the base of the small flower's calyx. Secure it to the fan frame. Wait until it's securely attached before releasing. If there are any unstable parts on the flower branch, use the glue gun to secure the corresponding points. Here, everyone can secure it according to their own situation. Be mindful not to leave obvious glue marks on the wrong side. Once done, adjust the shape of the flower branch. Bend the bud slightly to match the curve of the fan frame. This way, the peony branch is securely attached. Finally, take a piece of yarn, used for the crocheted headband, and thread it into the yarn needle, used for sewing on the phoenix. You can choose the yarn based on your own preference. Position the phoenix properly. Align the head close to the peony on the left side. Let the bead chain hang naturally. Slightly extend the bottom of the body beyond the fan frame. Let the back of the body naturally. Find a few points where the body meets the motif and secure them well. Once secured, hide the yarn tails underneath the fabric. Adjust the position properly. Use a hot glue gun to reinforce any moving parts. Let the left wing hang naturally. Spread out the right wing to match the motif. Position the phoenix mouth slightly downward. Finally, place the tail feathers. In order from 1 to 6. Place them from left to right, taking up about half of the motif space. Make sure they are positioned correctly. Let the tail feathers spread out naturally. Find a few points to glue and secure them to the motif. Note that the ends of the tail feathers are usually not fixed. You can refer to the finished product, or follow your own preference. Shape the other tail feathers into a desired form. Gluing is completed. That concludes the explanation of securing the phoenix. Finally, make the tassel pendant. There are two types, chain pendants and bead pendants. Each has two. Secure them symmetrically on the bottom edge of the fan frame. The motifs are placed in the empty positions on the fan surface, a total of 4 places. Finally, add tassels to the fan handle. Please watch the demonstration. Start by making the chain pendant. Take out the tassel chain. Keep 2 beads. Count 7 loops from the top and cut off. Make one more using the same method. Next, take the chain. Secure it with open rings to the loop positions on both sides of the metal motif. Then thread beads onto the middle loop position. Cut a piece of sewing thread and thread it through the beading needle. String about 20 seed beads. One clear wool bead. One glass leaf. Thread back through. Then thread through one more clear wool bead. 7 seed beads. Thread through the middle loop of the metal motif. You can thread it through one more time. Adjust the tension properly. Thread back to the yarn tail position. Finally, tie a knot and hide the thread end. Lastly, take a yarn tail from the crocheted motif. Thread it through the beading needle. Secure the top of the metal motif to the edge of the fan frame, about 1-2 cm away from the fan handle. The position of the sample here is random. You can adjust the position based on your own preference. Finally, tie a knot on the wrong side. Use a sewing needle to hide the yarn tail along the texture. Complete it by yourself. Make the other chain pendant symmetrically. Complete it by yourself. Next, make the beaded pendant. I'll explain the method using the actual project. Continue using the sewing thread to bead. First, string 6 seed beads in the middle of the chain. 1 clear wool bead. 1 glass leaf. After returning, string another clear wool bead. 12 seed beads. Go through the middle loop twice. Weave to the yarn tail, and tie a knot to hide the tail. The bead chains on both sides still start from the middle position. String a yellow wool bead. 9 seed beads. 1 water drop bead. After returning, string a red wool bead. Yellow wool bead. 7 seed beads. Go through the loop and return, then tie a knot with the yarn tail and hide it. Finally, attach the top to the fan frame, about 4 cm away from the fan handle. Secure the other side symmetrically. Everyone finish it up. Then secure the floral inlay design. Cut a piece of yarn for crocheting motifs. Use random colors for the swatch. Take one strand and thread it through the beading needle. Pass through the corresponding position. You can refer to the finished product for the exact position, or choose a suitable empty position based on your preference. Thread through the center of the metal calyx. String 1 seed bead. Then pass back through to the wrong side. You can secure it one more time. Finally, tie a knot on the wrong side. Just hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. Complete the remaining floral inlay design. Pay attention when securing at the fan frame position. Pick up the thread on the surface of the fan frame and sew it. Finally, make the tassel for the fan handle. Take a piece of yarn used for crocheting motifs. Take 3 strands and thread them through the beading needle. String 1 yellow will bead in order. Red will bead. Yellow will bead. And the tassel. You can thread through the tassel one more time. Return. Thread through the center hole of the fan handle. Adjust the tension. Thread through again. Pay attention to keep the bottom tassel as centered as possible. Tie off the yarn tail. Try to keep the knot close to the hole. You can make a few more knots. Remove the bead pin. Adjust the knot position to the inside of the fan handle. Trim off the excess yarn tail. This completes the fan handle tassel. The assembly of the accessory is now explained. Up to this point, the entire round fan is now explained. If you have any questions during the crocheting process, if there are still unclear parts, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's family, supporting your handworking experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.